All right, you guys, it is Monday, and today I'm going to make my cracked chicken. Like I told you guys that I was going to meal prep actually yesterday. I worked all weekend, but we are going to be doing it today, and I'm going to post this video today with the meal prep that I'm doing because it's my day off. So first we're going to start with the cracked chicken. In here I have 4 big chicken breasts. I'm sorry, I don't know what size of crock pot this is. I would say it's kind of a smaller one, so maybe like 5 quart. Just guessing. It could be like 3.5. I have no idea. But we are going to start with putting the chicken in your crock pot. This meal is very, very easy. We are starting it at 11 o'clock and it will be done tonight. It takes about 7 to 8 hours on low. I always cook it on low and it comes out delicious. I have it usually with a salad, but my family likes it either on a bun or else they like it with pasta as well too. So put your chicken in the crock pot. Then we are going to take a whole block of the Philadelphia cream cheese. This is the only cream cheese that I use personally. I think it's the best. I get it from Costco all the time. I just sliced it up because I find that it's just easier to kind of evenly put it on. All right. So first, before we do that, actually, we are going to put on our ranch seasoning. So this, you can make your own ranch. I buy the packets because I'm lazy and I don't know, I just have never made my own ranch, to be honest. So this is the kind that I buy. I put in a whole packet as well too, and I just generously put that over top of the chicken evenly. And we will do that, make sure it covers all of the chicken as well too. And perfect. So that looks pretty good. There's still some left. I don't think I'm going to use it all. Sometimes I do, but I think sometimes I have a little bit more chicken. But that is pretty much all completely covered now. I will show you that. Next, we are going to put in our cream cheese. Now you can add other seasonings. So if you do want maybe like salt and pepper or whatever, or I thought about using the Red Hot ranch that I got, but I don't know, like everybody doesn't like it spicy, including myself. So I'll try that another day. But I think that would be really, really good as well too. Probably Jimmy would really, really love that since he loves spicy stuff. So we're just going to evenly put this block cream cheese all over the chicken so that it's completely covered as well too. And this is like a huge crowd pleaser. Our whole family, like I've said, loves it. But you can also do it for like a potluck. Right now we're not doing too many gatherings, but this one is always like a huge, huge crowd pleaser. So, and I haven't made it in a while, to be honest. So I'm sure that everybody will like it today. Alrighty, so I think what we're going to do, because I think this is the smaller crock pot for some reason. I'm just going to use most of it. I'm going to just leave a little bit left in here because it definitely really covers all of the chicken that I have in here. Actually, we'll do one more. Kind of split this one in half. There we go. That looks good. So that's pretty well covered with cream cheese. I had a little bit left, but as you can see, the cream cheese pretty much covered all of the chicken. All right, so I have some bacon here defrosting. I had it in the freezer. So we will make the bacon later. And the other thing that you also put in this later on is some shredded cheese as well too. So, but we will be doing that later on. Right now, we are going to cover it and cook it on low for 7 hours. And then we will do the rest of the ingredients. I always put my plug in there when I'm storing it. So we will put that on low, leave it for 7 hours, and then we will add the remaining ingredients, which is pretty much just cheese and some bacon. Okay, so we will leave that be. All right, so this is about 6 hours later. I took the cover off and I am just going to shred the chicken and then mix it all together, all in the crock pot. You can do this. Then after it's all shredded and mixed together, then I added a little bit of cheese. I didn't measure my cheese. But if you are losing, I would highly recommend weighing out your cheese that you're putting in, just so you get a more accurate macro count. So I just put a handful of cheese in. I'm going to mix it up as well. Then I cooked a couple slices of bacon, and I am just going to chop up that bacon into bite-sized pieces and put that in there as well. Then mix it all in again. Once that's all mixed, then you can put another handful or two on the very top. Once again, if you're watching your macros, I highly recommend measuring out your cheese because it sometimes can get away from you. Then I'm just going to put the lid back on, and I'm going to cook it at low for another 10 minutes. The 10 minutes is up, so I am going to make myself a serving. This is what I had for supper tonight. It was really, really good as always. So I just divvied it up and made a serving for myself for tonight. I made a serving for myself for another night as well too. And then the rest of it I actually meal prepped for my family, and they had theirs with penne pasta. Like I said, they like it with either pasta or with a bun. I didn't have anything on the side. I wasn't too hungry tonight, so I just left it as is with the cracked chicken. So here I'm just divvying up all of the pasta with the cracked chicken for the rest of my family. And Jimmy made his, he mixed the pasta with a little bit of rosé sauce because he felt like it needed more flavor. So he mixed his with rosé sauce and then put the cracked chicken on top of that. And that's what he'll have for lunch. And the girls will enjoy this as well too. They were both working tonight, so they will be able to have a serving when they get home. And I'll show Jimmy's just quickly right here. And as you can see, he had rosé sauce with his. And this is my supper for tonight, is a serving of cracked chicken. I always like a lot of cheese, so that's why I add cheese and mix it in. And then I also put the cheese on top. Next meal prep we are going to do is egg scrambles. I've said this before that I ate these all the time when I was losing weight. They were a favorite of mine. I had them almost every day for my meal one. So I'm just opening up some bacon, and make sure you are careful when you're opening up your bacon. I ended up getting stitches years ago from opening a pack of bacon the wrong way, and I had to get rushed to emergency to get stitches. So here I'm just making 3 slices of bacon, and we are just going to let that cook on the stove while we get started with our egg scramble. So for our egg scramble, I'm going to start with 3 eggs. I'm so grateful that our chickens are laying eggs again. They've been consistently laying. So that's so nice to have farm fresh eggs. So I'm going to use 3 eggs here. And you guys can add whatever kind of seasonings you like with your scrambled eggs. Some people like to put hot sauce with their eggs. I prefer doing it afterwards, but I added some black pepper, some pink Himalayan salt, and also some everything but the bagel seasoning. Then I mixed that up a bit, and I realized that it wasn't too much. I wanted to make 2 servings of this. So once I mixed it up and see how much I had, I actually decided that I needed another egg. So I added 1 more egg as well to this mixture, and then I divided it in half, and then each serving would have 2 eggs, which was, I think, the perfect amount here. So my bacon is done cooking. I'm just going to put it on some paper towel to let the excess grease go off. And then in that same pan that I cooked the bacon, I'm actually going to make my scrambled eggs. So as you can see there, they're all scrambled and just in the same pan on low. I think I turned it up to maybe 2 here because it just wasn't cooking very fast for me. I just made my scrambled eggs. You can make your scrambled eggs however you'd like. I know some people do add heavy whipping cream. I didn't in this case. I just had the eggs only. I don't cook my eggs very long when I scramble them. It kind of depends, I guess, as preference on how you like your scrambled eggs. But since I was doing this as a meal prep, I undercooked them a little bit just because I will be throwing them in the microwave to warm them up, and I didn't want to overdo them because they do cook a little bit once they get in the microwave again to warm this meal up. All right, so once those scrambled eggs are done, I divided them into 2 containers here, just so I'll have some meal prep for the next few days, especially when I'm working in the morning and have my meal 1 on the go. So I just halved them as close as I could, and each of those will have 2 eggs in each container. And then this is when I add my hot sauce. I add just a little bit. I don't like it too spicy. I usually use hot sauce, or I will use sriracha because I really like the flavoring of that as well. But as you can see, I don't use too much. It's more or less for flavor. I don't like hot or spicy things. And then those 3 strips of bacon, I'm just going to cut up. I did about a strip and a half in each container just so that it was even. So once that's done, then I add my cheese. Once again, I didn't measure my cheese. I just put a little handful over top of the egg scramble. Then when I warm it up, it gets all cheesy and good. And I don't cut up my avocado and put it on as well. I'll wait till the day of to cut that in half, and I will use a half of an avocado in each container. So there you have it. That's our other meal prep, is scrambled eggs. And this one, like I said, it's my favorite meal. I ate this all the time when I was losing. It was one of my favorite meals. Next, we are going to be doing a cauliflower bake. Now, I get my cauliflower at Costco. I ended up getting this bag here, which is already cut up. And it was just convenience, to be honest. You guys know that I'm working a lot, so it was just convenience to get this one that already had the cauliflower cut up. And I like putting my cauliflower in there instead of dumping it in because you get a lot of those loose little flowerets that just kind of get mushy. So I put in about half the bag. The other half of the bag I actually made for Jimmy, just raw cauliflower and carrots. He likes to take that to work. So I'm just going to cover this and let it steam for about 5 minutes or so. Then when it's done, you are going to drain it. I put it in another container, a fairly big container, and where I will do all my mixing. So I didn't really follow this recipe that I have linked down below. I only had a little bit of sour cream left, and I had a little bit of cream cheese left. So I ended up mixing those together. I put it in the microwave for a little bit to soften up the cream cheese. Then I put that mixture with the cauliflower, and just make sure that you're folding it in with the cauliflower, not necessarily stirring it. I'm going to add a few seasonings here. I think I actually just ended up adding black pepper. And there's the mixture that I had. Like I said, it wasn't very much. I didn't make a full recipe either with the cauliflower that I had used. So it didn't turn out too bad, but I probably could have used some more sour cream as well too. I probably could have used more of both, the sour cream and the cream cheese. It still turned out really good. I'm going to add some mozzarella cheese to that mixture. I ended up just doing a handful, and I mixed it all together, and then we will be putting it in a baking dish. So we're just going to use, I think it's an 8x8 pan here, glass dish, and we are going to put that in there. Like I said, it's usually only me and Zoe that really enjoy this cauliflower bake, which this is the perfect amount. The recipe does call for a 9x13 pan, but like I said, I usually half that recipe just because there's only 2 of us that eat it. Then on the top, I'm going to add an even layer of cheese again. And then of course I'm going to add some chopped bacon as well too. So I think this was only 2 slices of bacon just for flavoring. And what I like to do is pour the bacon grease on top as well of the whole cauliflower bake. It just gives it a really good flavor, and tastes really good if you put all that bacon fat all over the casserole. All right, so we're ready to put it in the oven uncovered, and we are going to leave that at 425. I cooked it for about 15-20 minutes, which was perfect. It wasn't a large size. I didn't have that much cauliflower like I would if you would have used a 9x13 pan, but this came out really good and nice and golden brown, and a great side dish to use with chicken and a roast beef or whatever side you guys decide to use. It's just really good and really flavorful. So there you have it. Thanks for watching, you guys.